Welcome to Science and Arts Housing. My name is Melanie Bilyeu. I am the Student Services Specialist, and today I'm going to be showing you all about eRes Life and how we are going to put in our housing application. So first you're going to go to usao.edu, and then once you pull up the main webpage, we're going to go to Student Life, Housing, and then we're going to click on Apply for Housing.
You can also go to
usao.ereslife.com. And once you do that, it'll connect you to the university's one login. So that is when you get your student email and password. So it's going to be the same login that you use to get into your email. And so you're going to go to usao.ereslife.com, and it should bring you here. You'll type in your email address, continue, type in your password, and continue. And when you first pull it up, you should be prompted to fill out your profile. I'll show you what your profile should look like. It'll give you these options here to upload a picture for yourself. You'll be able to put in your legal name, your preferred name, your last name, all of these information. Everything with a star is required, and don't worry about filling anything out that is not required. So you'll click Save. And once we do that, we'll go back to Home, and you can click on Apply for Housing, but if it's not there, if Apply for Housing is not showing up for you, you'll go under the Housing tab on the left. You'll click on Housing Overview, and it should have all of your applications, and you should be able to click Apply Now. So we'll go ahead and do that. It'll pull up your application for the term that you're going to be staying. You're going to read out all of these questions, and we'll go through them. So your first question here is just going to let you know that new students need to pay $200 deposit no later than July 1st. You can do that through the business office, either over the phone or in person or by mail. If you are a returning student and you have already paid your deposit, you don't need to pay it again. If you are returning to housing and your deposit was returned, or if it was forfeit for any reason, you will have to pay your deposit again. And if you have any questions about your deposit, you can contact housing at usao.edu, or you can call 405-574-1278 about any questions regarding eRes Life, your deposit, or anything about housing. So we're going to move on to the first actual question is going to be about your housing preferences. So these prices are subject to change, but we've got different living quarters for you. We've got our dorms, which are going to be Sparks Hall and Robertson Hall. You've got your shared bathroom and bedroom in a 4-person suite. So what that means is you've got 2 people per bedroom, and 2 bedrooms sharing one bathroom. So 4 people sharing 1 bathroom. You've got Sparks, the private bedroom and shared bathroom in a 2-person suite. So that's 1 person per room, and they both share 1 bathroom in the middle. Robertson Hall is going to be about the same. You've got your double suites, so you've got your 2 people on one side and 2 people on the other side sharing a bathroom. And it also has a triple where you can share with 3 people as well. You've got Lawson, where the apartment itself, it is apartment style living, so Each person will have their own individual private bedroom, and then either two people will share a bathroom on one side, and then two people share a bathroom on another side, or you've got just two people sharing one bathroom in just a two-person suite. So you'll go through and you'll click and add them to the list, so you can drag and drop your preference. So whatever's first on the list is going to be your first preference, where you want to stay, and it is ranked. The reason why this is important, this one here, is because if you happen to miss your time slot, which we will get to in a little bit, if you miss your time slot, you will be assigned automatically, and it'll take into preference, like it'll take into account your preferences of what room, like what housing type you would prefer, in order of your drag and drop selections. So this next question is going to be about gender inclusive housing. So that means you have the option of living with other students regardless of their gender identity or their expression. So for example, if you were a female and you were okay with living with somebody who identifies as female, as transgender female, or non-binary, for example, you would click yes. So the next question is going to be selecting your occupancy. So you're going to select either the full year, or fall only, or spring only. Your next question, you will select if you're a new student or a returning student. The athlete, you're going to select if you are signed to a sport, you will select one of the sports there. And if you're not signed, or if you are not interested in being an athlete, you'll click not an athlete. And lastly, here we have classification, where you'll select your class. So next we have emergency contact, which it is very important to have down, because we want to have somebody to contact in case of an emergency. And they can be anybody who you trust, as long as we can get a hold of them and we can let them know about any emergency situations. So we'll just put Dusty Drover. He is my friend. You don't have to put address or anything. We're going to put my phone number, so you guys can call me here at the office if you need to. If you want to put a second person, you can here. This next section here is just saying that the person above your emergency contact person is who we would contact if you were to go missing. That is, the question itself is required, but you're not required to say, if you want somebody to contact if you're missing. But yes, the person above is who I want contacted. So this part is just saying that we read the policy above, and that person listed above would be contacted if you are missing. So this next question is going to be over medical emergencies. So if you want somebody different regarding any medical emergencies, you can click no, and you can enter in their information down here. Otherwise, if it's the same person, you'll just click yes. You'll enter in any medications that you're currently taking, any food allergies, drug allergies, and then most importantly, to be able to live in housing, you do have to get your meningitis vaccination, either by getting the vaccine, if you have a waiver signed, or if you plan to sign a waiver or get the vaccine. And make sure to get that documentation turned in to us as well. So now we're going to come to the very fun part, roommate preferences. So the first part of any of these questions is going to be you. So when I study, I like to study, and then you get a list with TV, music, YouTube. And I want somebody who also prefers to study with TV, music, YouTube, but I'm also okay with somebody who likes to study in the library or with a group. And you can add all of these if you like. If you honestly don't mind any of these options, just make sure you rank these in a particular order. That way, whenever you go to search for roommates, which we'll get to in another video, you can search by preferences. So in the morning, I like to get up early, get up late, or irregular, flexible, schedule driven. And then you have the same options here, and you'll make sure to order them in the way you like. Same thing, you don't have to choose roommate preferences, but it would be in your best interest if you end up not being able to make your time slot and you get automatically assigned. It would be in your best interest. That way you get paired with the roommate that you would be most comfortable with. So you want to make sure that you have preferences here, just in case, something were to happen and you weren't able to make your time slot. So just to be sure, all residence halls and campus buildings are tobacco free. So if you do smoke, you would have to do it outside. So your preference, you have 3 choices here. If you are over 21, you are permitted to consume alcohol on campus, and you have your options here. We have about guests and overnight guests, how you feel about your roommate borrowing your stuff, and if you consider yourself, if you believe you would be a good roommate for other allies. This next part is very important. If you are registered for an emotional support animal, if you do have an ESA, or if you have questions regarding ESAs, you'll need to contact Rachel. If you select yes, you'll need to put in your animal here. So this question is also important for preferences, just in case you get roomed with somebody who has an ESA, if you would be okay with that or not. So you'll select what 3 words best describe you, which is also important because people could be able to see it, and it also helps us match people up if we have to do it by hand. If you have any other concerns, you can put them in here, and then if you have any other preferences, you can also put them in here. Very important, your meal plan will be selected during the room selection process, which will be in another video. But your meal plan is determined by which housing you are assigned to, so that's why we had it to be you have to select your meal plan during your room selection. And last but not least, we'll get to the end parts here where we describe our policies on criminal history disclosure, general conditions saying that you have to pay your $200 deposit, and if you break the contract, your deposit may be forfeit. You'll put in your signature and the date. If you are under 18, you'll have your parents sign as well. And then we have our COVID-19 policies. And then you'll put in your signature here after reading them, and we'll save and continue. After filling out the application, you have the overview, just saying that you need to confirm that you have opened, read, understood, and agreed to the terms and conditions file. You'll click on that and it'll pull up our housing contract, and everything you need to know about housing and early termination and what is expected of you and what to do upon just certain other things that have to do with housing, like ESAs or maintenance requests or guests or anything that you would ever need to know about housing. And then you declare that everything in the application is correct, and then we submit it. You'll get a thank you note with your confirmation here. You will be getting an email saying that your application has been completed. If you happen to start it and then leave, you'll also get an email saying that your application is incomplete and you need to come back to finish it. And that is how you put in your application on eResLife. Again, if you have any questions about this process, feel free to email us at housing@usao.edu or call us at 405-574-1278. And I look forward to seeing you when you come on campus.